Good morning, Murfreesboro. I'm Lance Chandler.
And I'm Rachel Albertson. Welcome to another episode of Good Morning Murfreesboro.
Yeah, welcome. We had a fun week last week, and we got a fun week this week.
We certainly do. We get to talk about what makes Murfreesboro shine.
We certainly do, and we love doing that. And we've had a pretty great week so far. How was your week?
It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Busy, getting ready for Christmas.
Yeah, us too. We're getting ready for all the Christmas fun and stuff, visiting with family, all of that fun stuff. It's going to be, my family goes overboard with everything Christmas, so it'll be a lot of fun. I'm going to cook a prime rib.
Ooh.
That's my specialty.
What time is that?
Do what? Oh, what time is dinner? Probably like 5:30 on Christmas Eve. So
Yeah.
if you're not doing anything, Rachel, I've got prime rib and plenty of it.
I love prime rib. So do you have any Christmas traditions that your family does?
Not really. We're not so much Christmas traditions that we do. We try to look at Christmas lights and ride around and check those things out every year. But you know, I guess it kind of is a tradition. We do Christmas with my family on Christmas Eve, and then me and my wife have morning together and all that stuff. So we have our little traditions, but they're probably not much different than anybody else's.
Yeah.
What about you?
Sometimes people do crazy things.
Yeah.
We had more traditions when our kids were little, but now that it's older and they have their significant others, we're like trying to balance so everybody gets to see their family because that's important.
Yeah. Well, we do always like to wear our ugly Christmas sweaters.
Yes, and today is National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day.
Yeah.
And I didn't have anything ugly in my closet, so I came out looking bright.
Well, you do look bright, and you're blinding me with that thing,
all right.
Rachel.
I'll turn off the lights for now. But
You're killing me.
if the lights go out, we'll be able to leave the building safely.
Okay, yeah, that's true. Just click it on. We'll follow Rachel out the door.
That's right. Well, we have some exciting stuff coming up. Are you going to talk to us about the trivia winner?
We are going to talk about the trivia winner later on. So if you entered to win the trivia contest by answering the question, you better stay tuned because we're going to announce our winner later.
Yes. And we have another visitor that may have visited us last week.
Yeah, we have a little message from a friend of ours. Santa Claus has a message about the meaning of Christmas that he's going to talk about a little later on the show too. And you better grab the kids and make sure they watch that because it's important to learn the meaning of Christmas.
Yes, and then we'll have another trivia question towards the end, so make sure you stick around so you can see that. And we have some guests today that are pretty fabulous.
Yeah, we do. We have some great guests today. And then we also have some great sponsors and some great gifts from people. And then we can't leave out
our little Murphy.
Murphy up here. Murphy better not leave no gumdrops in that cup, let me tell you.
Well, we want to do a big thank you to Valley Growers for these poinsettias. They have really brought that Christmas cheer.
They have. And then today is the 20th, so the 21st is their season closing but they're buy one, get one free on the poinsettias until the 21st. So make sure that if you want some beautiful poinsettias like they've donated to us, then go check them out.
And they've really lasted a long time.
They have. They've lasted. I don't know who's watering them, but they're doing a good job.
It's not me.
It's not me either. Who's doing it?
It's
producer.
Murphy.
It's Murphy. Murphy. That's who's doing it. Well, we also have them that have helped us out, but we have other great sponsors that have helped us out, like Superior Overhead Doors. They're great. It's that time of season where your garage door may need some maintenance. You don't want it to get ice stuck onto it, and you don't want to be stuck in or stuck out. That's for sure. The garage door.
Yeah, and Titan Media works.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you have Info Social Media. They're great if you're a small business in the area or a medium-sized business that wants to build a presence online. They're great for helping you with that.
And 615 Insurance. If you're new to town or looking for one of those local agents that you can reach out to and not an 800 number.
Yeah, and then you have Achieve Entrepreneur Co-working. They are a great place if you're looking for a place to come together and work with your business. They're the newest in town, so they're really awesome.
Yes, and of course the Murfreesboro Pulse that gives us these events that we talk about later, and you can go on their website or find a copy around town and find out what else is going on.
Yeah, absolutely. We love the Pulse, that's for sure. And then last week,
We
We
had
had
a
our trivia
winner.
question,
Yes,
so we
yes.
have our winner this week. Our question last week was, what actor played the character Neil Miller in the Christmas hit movie, The Santa Claus?
And you know, I didn't know it until we had the question, and then I learned.
Oh yeah, what'd you learn, Rachel?
It's Judge Reinhold.
Oh yeah, he's a pretty cool guy. He was in a lot of cool movies besides The Santa Claus, wasn't he?
Right, and I knew him from Fast Time at Ridgemont High.
Gotcha, but he was in Beverly Hills Cop too.
Yep,
So.
I did learn that. This is
Yeah.
pretty educational for me.
Well, we have our winner this week. Rachel, who is our winner this week?
Aaliyah Elzar.
Yeah. Well, Christy will reach out to Aaliyah with information on how she can get her prize. So we'll give her Christy's information. We'll connect them together. So Aaliyah, congratulations.
Yes, congratulations.
Well, we have that special message that we were talking about
Yes,
earlier.
yes.
So guys, here it is. We're going to learn what the meaning of Christmas is from Santa. Well, Santa, we have one more thing that we want to talk about. We want to talk about the meaning of Christmas. And who better to talk about the meaning of Christmas than Santa himself?
You know, Lance, I got to tell you, every year goes by, it truly gets sadder because a lot of children, when they send me their wish list and I see them or talk to them, they seem to have forgotten what the true meaning of Christmas really is. Now, we all know that we cannot pinpoint, 25th of December is the day Christ was born. Well, there's no date that says it was December, October, November. But we're not celebrating a date. We're celebrating the birth. And I asked the children, what were the first true gift of the very first Christmas? And some of them know, and I'm disappointed at all that don't. But that was Jesus' birthday. Jesus was the gift that God gave to us to save us. And then I'll ask them about the second true gift. Now, we all know about the three wise men. You know, the kings. They were rich, and they brought frankincense and myrrh and gold. But that really wasn't a true gift because they had plenty. They were just giving a little of what they had a whole lot of, and they would never miss. The true gift is what the fourth man brought. And people say, who is the fourth man? Well, you all know him. He's in the Bible. He's in the pictures, the stories. Who did the angels talk to in the field? It was the shepherd. Now, when the shepherd heard about the birth, he came to worship. But he was poor. He's just a shepherd. He had no rich things to give. So on the way, he carved a wooden baby lamb. And that's what he gave Jesus. And that's a true gift because it came from his heart. Christmas is not about receiving. It's about giving. And it doesn't have to be store-bought. It doesn't have to be expensive. It can be something that you've made with your own hands. Or better yet, it could just be a kind deed that you do for someone.
Well, thank you so much, Santa, for that awesome message. It's great to learn the meaning of
Very
Christmas.
heartwarming.
It is heartwarming. You know, it is about giving in this season and giving to others, and it's great that he was able to tell us a story like that. And not just about Santa Claus giving, but about Jesus Christ and that true meaning of Christmas and where it all truly began leading up to Santa Claus.
Agreed,
Yeah,
for sure.
absolutely.
For sure. Well, if you think there is nothing to do in Murfreesboro, you're certainly not looking hard enough. So we're going to talk to you about some upcoming events.
Yeah. The first event that we have December 21st is the first day of winter solstice.
The winter solstice is my favorite. It is the longest day of the year, which means the next day, it just keeps getting lighter and lighter and lighter, and hopefully warmer and warmer and warmer.
Well, you're not a fan of cold weather at all, are you?
Nope.
I don't like it getting dark so early. It gets dark at 4:30, and that just is no fun.
It's no fun.
I like my grass too much. I'm ready for spring again so I can get out there in the yard.
The only bad thing about spring, it brings the bugs.
It does bring the bugs. Well, another event that we have coming up is the Ugly Christmas Sweater Party, and this is a time to dig into your tackiest Christmas sweater that you have for you. We have This right here is at Deep South Growlers. That is 1602 West Northfield, Suite 8, Murfreesboro. This is Saturday, December 21st from 7 to 11 p.m. Enjoy great drinks, festive vibes, and bring your ugly sweater. Who knows, you could win a prize.
Awesome. And after that, there's the Procrastinators Craft Fair on December 22nd. If you're still hunting for that perfect last minute gift, don't worry. The Procrastinators Craft Fair has your back. It's a place that I would go because I'm always last minute-y. Stop by Cedar Glade Brews from 11 to 3. You can find homemade gifts from local artisans and even sip on a craft beer while you're there.
Yeah, absolutely. And then if you want an exciting thing to watch on the 23rd, MTSU men's basketball team is actually playing in Knoxville against the Vols. It's streaming on ESPN, or you can catch the game on WGNS radio. Tip-off is at 6 p.m., so that'll be a pretty fun one to watch.
Definitely be one to put in the books, I think they call that.
Yeah.
And this is your last chance to do the drive-through Christmas lights at Cannonsburgh Village. They end on the 22nd. This year they added some new holiday lights. It's a free tradition that I say every week. Pile up those kids in the minivan with blankets and cocoa and go see some great lights.
Yeah, that's a fun experience to drive through those and see everything. And then also we have to give our shout out to the Murfreesboro Pulse for giving us these events. If you want more events like this, you can go to murfreesboropulse.com, or you can go to one of their newsstands and check it out and grab one of their papers and see what they have going on around town.
It's pretty amazing.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, right now we have our first commercial break. It is with Achieve Entrepreneur Center.
All right, welcome back. We have with us today half of the husband and wife team that has created the first of its kind speakeasy in Murfreesboro on the Square. So we have with us today Daniel Creech. Welcome.
Hey, Daniel. Hey, we're glad you're here.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what a speakeasy is? How did you get started? Where did it come from? All the things.
That's a lot of questions and a lot
I know.
to unpack, Rachel. So a little history lesson. Speakeasy was a term that was used for when the 18th and 19th Amendment happened, and they outlawed alcohol in the United States. There were 33,000 clubs that basically went underground into the basements, and they were known as speakeasies. And they were a place that you could go where you still could have your libations and have a good time, and basically they threw the party. So
Awesome.
Nice.
essentially, we've tried to recreate that
Mhm.
with our space. It is an authentic basement dwelling, if you will, and it was built in an old 1887 building right here on the Square in Murfreesboro.
Awesome.
So we're pretty proud of that. You know, we kept all the aesthetics, all the original rock that's on the.
Lance and I have both been there.
Yeah,
It's pretty amazing.
we enjoyed it. When I go in there, I think of a movie comes to mind when I'm in there. And I think of Great Gatsby. It's like one of my favorites, and that's like the vibe I get from it. It makes me feel like luxurious while I'm in there.
Man, I really appreciate that. That was kind of what we were going for, the whole 1920s. We wanted to keep it, all of our staff dresses in 1920s attire. As you see, I'm dressed like an Irish gangster. So
Good to know. Good to know.
But you're not an Irish gangster.
Well,
well, if I
Well-
told you that, Lance, I'd to kill you.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, don't tell me then.
so it took a little while for you guys to open, and I went to the ribbon cutting, so I did learn a little bit more about it, you guys there, but there's a lot of craftsmanship that went in not only to the walls, but the bar and all the displays.
There was. I spent 2 years down there. I'm a woodworker by trade. My father was a construction guy, and so learned all of that through childhood labor. when we were kids. So it took a long time. That project was a labor of love, and every piece in there is authentic. Taking an old bed from 1912 and turning that into our mantle. It's just one of those spaces. It's really hard to describe it.
Right.
You really can't get the true feel of it till you're in the space itself. And very proud of it, and very excited to finally bring it to light, if you will, and here in Murfreesboro.
Well, it's definitely a vibe, that's
Yes,
for sure.
for sure.
So what can patrons expect when they come into there? Like what does it take to get into the speakeasy?
So in true speakeasy style, we made a phone for you, an old 1920s phone, and once you figure out the phone, then you can call in, and it calls into our hostess, and you have to give her the password that she'll ask for.
Tell me the password.
Rachel, if I tell you the password, I'll have to kill you.
Oh, well, I don't want to.
I'm an Irish gangster. So no, we'll be changing the password about every month, and we're giving it to different concierges in the area. There's also various establishments on the square that we have good relationships with, like Hemispheres.
Yes.
Love those guys. They're
Yes.
fantastic. Burroughs Bourbons and Brews.
Yeah.
Also friends of ours. So you can get the password from them.
Okay.
And then also too, we're going to offer a riddle on the inside of the phone. So when you open the front door of the phone, there'll be a riddle, and it'll change. So if you want to try your hand at that, you can do that. Yeah.
That'd be
That's
fun.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. I think that's a good way to shake it up and keep people interested in everything,
Yeah.
and give us something fun to do,
Right.
to get into there.
Yeah. So one of the other things we saw at the ribbon cutting were your bartending staff. I think they're barkeeps, and I understand that there are some amazing and inspired original cocktails and appetizers. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so one of the things we take pride in, along with not just the detail work that we put into the space, but also the food and the libations. We procured a Greg Owen. He was a bartender of the Goat, and it's really to call him a bartender is kind of an insult, honestly. He's a master craft.
He's like a scientist.
He is, and his formulations, if you will, is they're incredible.
Yeah.
And some of these craft drinks have like 17 steps. We make everything from scratch.
That's amazing.
All of our syrups, he comes in, he makes them. Everything from our lavender syrup to our simple syrups.
Wow.
We make everything from scratch. We clarify all our water for our ice, so our ice cubes are perfectly clear.
Wow.
For like our old fashions and things like that. We make all of our own foams and creams for the top. Everything from our egg white foam, which we crack an egg right there, and we do it right in front of you, to grating Godiva chocolate with a Godiva bar over the top, grating and right onto the drink. So it's that meticulous. To even say it's a craft drink, that's been thrown around a lot lately in the last probably 5 years. I would say we're more of even an elevated craft drink.
Yeah.
Even beyond that. We take our time. That's one of the things that we have to educate our customers as they come in, is that these drinks take longer than normal. It's not just a Jack and Coke. It's that you can get in 5 seconds. Literally, like some of these drinks, as I said, 17 steps.
Yeah.
We brulee an orange and make a kind of like an orange crisp. And that bruleeing process takes almost 3 minutes.
Wow. Yeah.
Just that for the garnish on one of the drinks. So just to give you an idea, that's where we're at. And then we brought in a chef. We have a very, very good Italian fare. We went with a flatbread. We import our breads from Italy, which really sets us apart.
Yeah.
So if you have a really good craving for anything Italian, this is where you need to come.
Yeah.
It's the chef that we brought in to work with is incredible. His wife is Sicilian, and he also owns an Italian restaurant.
Wow.
So
That's awesome.
we were so blessed to have him, and I can tell you that Well, you can just go on and look at our reviews. People
It's-
are raving and taking
well,
pictures of it.
it was
We're
amazing.
so, I mean, we're so humbled
Yeah. Yeah.
to have that.
The quality and the flatbreads are just phenomenal. They look like very high end.
They
Yeah.
tasted amazing.
If you want like a luxurious experience,
Yeah.
that your place is the place to experience
you.
that.
Yeah, we wanted one last thing. We are a cocktail bar, as you know, but we wanted to create an experience where you could come, and if you were hungry, you could actually have dinner.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not steak and baked potatoes.
Yeah.
Right.
Definitely not. But you will fill up.
Yeah.
You can come there. Our very first member, Joe Henderson, comes in. He doesn't even drink, which is crazy. But he has 2 flatbreads. He will eat 2 of those back to back and a Diet Coke, and that's his thing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, and that attests to the atmosphere. If you have
Yeah.
somebody that doesn't even drink coming
Yep.
into a bar just to be there, the atmosphere is that great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, tell us a little about memberships and how people can join.
Well, that transitions into Joe really nice. So he was our first member. So we do have 3 tiers of memberships, which you don't have to be, by the way. That kind of got rumored around that it was a membership only. It's not. But it's we definitely would like you to be a member. You don't have to pay a door fee. That's our standard membership. It's $100 a month, and then you can come as many times as you want, and you also get a password with that.
Yeah.
So you have your own personal.
Password.
That's right. That's right. You have your own password, and then we have our founders members, which are for a couple. You do a lifetime fee of $2,000, and then it's $100 a month. And then what it gets you is, we're also an entertainment space, and that kind of gets overlooked as well because we have a stage. We brought 3-piece jazz bands in.
Yeah.
We've got some comedians coming up for the lineup. We are doing magicians and illusionists.
Oh, cool.
We're doing murder mystery shows.
Ooh, I love those.
Dinner shows. So we have some really neat stuff. For our big event that's coming up for New Year's, we're doing a masquerade party.
Oh, yeah.
So,
that's awesome.
and we actually sold those tickets. We sold out literally in 2 hours.
Wow.
We're trying to extend part of our backspace right now, and if we can do that, we might be able to open up a few more tickets. So definitely check our Instagram for that. And yeah, that's part of our membership is you get 48 hours before that to buy tickets to those events.
Awesome.
Well, I do want to mention, because I think it's important, the experience. There's no phones.
That's right.
I mean, it
Phones
is,
are
you go
prohibited.
there and it's not a quick in and out. You're going to an experience time and go kind of back in time and enjoy who you're with and the whole prohibition type experience.
Yes, and with that, we had asked, no video, no cameras. And if you want to take pictures of your food, your drinks, things like that, we have little small areas for that.
Okay.
And we just ask that you ask the staff. The staff will help you with that and take
Fantastic.
pictures for you. So,
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you being here so much and telling us about this. It's such an exciting thing to have in Murfreesboro.
man, I appreciate you having us.
I'm sorry to hear that Crystal was not able to be here. I know she's not feeling well. Not that we're sad to have you, but we hope Crystal feels better.
Yeah.
Yeah, and maybe you have us on again and bring
For
her,
sure.
bring
Yeah,
her back. 'Cause I'm
absolutely.
sure
If
she
you
would
bring
love
some
to.
of those drinks and that flatbread, I think we can get you in sooner.
That's a deal. Absolutely.
Well, thank you
Absolutely.
so much again. Daniel Creech, the Velvet Room Speakeasy.
Yeah.
Up next, we have Purple Paws Pet of the Week. This week's pet comes to us from Paws Angel Dog Rescue. Meet Sissy. Sissy is a 1-year-old female, a small mixed breed with a super sweet personality. She gets along well with other dogs, older, respectful, non-tail pulling kids, and even cats. She's fully vetted and she is making great progress on potty training and crate training.
Yeah, and if you're interested in getting Sissy and giving Sissy a loving home for the holidays, please email pawsangelsdogrescue@gmail.com. Be sure that you put her name in the subject line and they can help you out with that. And if you want more information on this, you can definitely go to our links below and find out how you can adopt Sissy.
Fantastic. Another dog hopefully getting placed before Christmas.
I hope so. Well, we have another special guest here with us. We
do.
have Brian Morris. Welcome, Brian. He is a representative for Congressman Scott DesJarlais. So thank you so much for being here and taking
My
time.
pleasure. Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, first off, what do you do? That's what we get asked all the time. What do you do?
Sure. So I am the veteran on Congressman Scott Desjardins' staff. So I deal with mostly veterans who have issues with the federal government. Mostly. We do a lot more than that, and that's just a portion of what I do. Pretty much, if someone has an issue with the federal government, Social Security, I'm applying for Social Security disability, and it's taking longer than I think it should, you can contact your congressman, and they have staff that interacts with those agencies on the behalf of the constituent.
So that's at state level, though, right?
Federal level.
Federal level.
Only
Okay.
the federal
See,
government.
I was
Congressmen
confused.
deal with federal stuff.
Gotcha.
There are state level politicians
Okay.
who deal with state level stuff.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
for example, if you have an issue with TennCare,
Yeah.
TennCare is run by the state of Tennessee. It's funded by the federal government to some
Gotcha.
extent, but the state of Tennessee allocates those resources. So you would need to contact your local politicians who want to help their constituents just as much as Congressman
Well, thank you for
Desjardins does.
clarifying. See, I was
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah, it is a confusing thing. So I know you said you mostly work with the veterans, but what would you say the most common question you get when people are contacting a congressman? Or pick one.
Well, so we get a variety of things. We are not, the caseworkers are not political, right? Like I am the politically neutral person at work. It doesn't matter what, we get a lot of calls, well, I didn't vote for him, will you still help me? Type of a thing. And of course, our job is to help the congressmen represent all of their constituents, regardless of their political affiliation. So our job specifically is to make sure that they get what the federal government is supposed to do for them. So that's probably one of the bigger questions I get. Oh, you're not going to help me because I voted for, well, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We'll help you no matter what, whatever your issue is.
Yeah, that's really cool. You know, that's something that you guys do with a variety of different levels of things, and people just don't understand that. They may think that you just deal in one category, but there's a plethora of things that you do.
There is. We have a lot of different cases. There are 3 of us in the office. We kind of specialize in different things, more or less. There are a lot of immigration cases. Immigration cases are very long. It's a very long process to immigrate legally from Egypt, for argument's sake, to the United States.
Yeah.
It's a very complicated process. The other thing I would say, the people I work with, we're not lawyers. So we get a lot of calls where people ask like legal advice. Like
okay.
I'm not a lawyer. I can't give you legal
Right,
advice. So you
right.
need to, I always tell people, hey, if you're having a difficult immigration case, you should contact an immigration lawyer to help you because they really know the ins and outs of that system. And that would be help you. We can send emails back and forth to people and try to get you an appointment. But they really, like that's an expert. You pay for expertise. There are a lot of nonprofits in Nashville that help with immigration stuff for free. So you could also look those up.
Fantastic.
I heard that you can also sometimes help with passport issues.
We do. It isn't as big of a deal now as it was 2 years ago.
Right, for sure.
2 years ago, right after COVID, passports were everybody's passport expired. Everybody wanted to travel.
Yeah.
Right.
And there was a backlog of people having their passports. That has been resolved. I can speak for experience. I had my passport renewed a couple weeks ago, and I had my son's passports, both of them renewed now that they're older. And it took all of 5 weeks. So not even
Wow.
that. It was a very quick process.
That's awesome. How long does a passport usually stay in? Because a lot of people probably have one in their pocket and they don't even think
That
about
was
it.
also a great question.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
something I learned in this job that I didn't know, your passport is good for 10 years. However, you cannot travel if you have 6 months remaining on your passport. So if it's 9 years and 6 months, or 6 months before it expires, you will not be able to leave the United States.
Well, that's good information. 'Cause
So
I
we get a lot of those
guarantee
calls too, that, hey, I thought I was good, but my passport expires halfway through my trip.
Wow.
And
Have
I
you
leave
ever had,
Thursday or
you
whatever.
ever had anybody in a situation where they had to have it like immediately?
Yes, indeed we did. Yeah, we've had that. There's another thing called a passport card
Right.
that you can get, and that's for traveling by vehicle to Canada and Mexico.
Gotcha.
Right? It's easier to get. It doesn't take as long. I think it's less expensive. I don't really know all of the nuances on how you get that, but it is not for international travel.
Gotcha.
So we had a call 2 years ago of someone who was at the airport. They had a whole really expensive trip to go to Europe and then a cruise and all of this stuff. And their 2 youngest children did not have
Oh gosh.
passports. They had passport cards. And they're like, hey, we have to leave in an hour. Like, well, so they were willing to fly to I think they'd fly to California to get an appointment at a place that can issue you your passport on the spot.
Oh my gosh.
So it was a lot of logistics. I didn't deal with that my coworker Carly
Yeah.
is the passport guru, and she sorted it all out. She took care of it all, and he got to where he was going to go with his kids. So
That's amazing.
That's what a headache, but amazing at the
it
same
worked
time.
out. It worked out really well in the long term. So it
Yeah.
all worked out. It was a
Good.
complicated process, and for a while there, we didn't think it was going to work out, but it did. And
That's
there's flexibility on the constituents' part as well, to being willing to go. You know, his thing was, I'll fly anywhere in the United States because I spent $25,000 on this trip, so I will fly anywhere you want me to go to get get the passport, and we were able to get it taken care of.
Well, I just attest to the things that you do that people may not realize that you do and can help with. I mean,
We
that
can.
is
There's
it.
a lot of different things. Again, the biggest confusion we have, we get a lot of calls that are not my neighbor's noisy.
Yeah.
Very sympathetic, but like that's not a federal issue. Like that's something you need to call the police or you know, your local government.
Yeah.
What is there another example of a reason not to call besides your neighbor's noisy? Dogs barking.
We get
parked in
those.
my parking
We
place.
get those. A lot of it, we can direct you to where you need to go. Right.
Gotcha.
Most people don't understand how the different levels of the government work.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
very confusing. We get a lot of issues with like, hey, why do I have to pay so much for property taxes? Or why do teachers have to pay for this? Or why is this only that? Like that's understood, but it's all like that's state stuff. Or like, you know, there's certain state laws that are passed that people don't realize that they're state laws. So they think that they're federal laws. And then they call up and it's like, well, that's a state thing, so you need to talk to your state. And then they're like, why is it possible? How's that? So like there's that kind of stuff, but there are all kinds of sorts of stuff out.
Absolutely.
And we can direct you to who you need to talk to. We do that all the time.
That's really cool.
Fantastic.
Yeah. Well, do you have any other questions, Rachel?
I think that's it for right now.
Well, we appreciate you being here, Brian. We really do. It means a lot that you came in and shared this information with us. I think you've enlightened a lot of our audience.
Yeah, that's great.
The whole point, we have to, the government, the federal government, while it has its issues, really does want to help its constituents. You just have to, and it's a bureaucracy that's complicated, and we can help smooth some of that out. So
All
you
right.
can call us anytime.
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much again, Brian. We hope that you'll be able to come back and visit us again soon, talk about some more stuff.
Let me know when.
All right,
At
awesome.
your schedule.
That's fantastic. Well, we're going to go right into another important message.
All right, guys, it's that time again. Everybody's favorite part of the
I know
show.
you guys have been waiting with bated breath.
It is time for Good Morning Trivia, guys. And
Yes.
we have an awesome question today. And our sponsor today is Chrissy Daniel with the Dutton Real Estate Group. She is offering a $25 Starbucks gift card.
That's
I
fantastic.
know I love some Starbies. I say it every time she offers it, and I say I'm going to comment because it's my favorite. All right, guys, here's today's question. How many ladies are dancing in the classic song, The 12 Days of Christmas? If you'd like to answer this question, we'll make a little post later on.
For sure.
In that post, you can go on the comments and make sure that you comment the answer to that question for your chance to win.
The only way I would know that is to sing, and as my daughter will attest to, I don't need to be singing.
Well, we have another little surprise from Santa.
Is Rachel on the naughty or nice list?
Oh, I wish you hadn't asked that.
Oh no. Why? Why is that?
Rachel, you made the nice list, but oh, she's bad tad.
Oh my gosh, that is so exciting. It took him a little bit of a pause, but apparently I am on the nice list.
You
So
are on the nice list.
My
I was shocked,
grandkids?
to be honest.
yeah, me too, me too. My grandkids can see. It's not that hard to be on the nice list.
It is not that hard to be on the nice list. You know, Santa said some good things with being on the nice list too earlier. He said, you know, I think it was last week that he said, do some kind things.
Yeah.
Do some kind things.
Kind is important.
And that helps a lot if you're kind to others.
Yes. Well, we are very grateful you guys joined us today. And next week, we're going to do pretty much the same thing. Talk to some great people, have some good trivia questions, and give away some prizes.
Yeah, we have some great stuff coming up next week, some great guests that we have, and we're so grateful that we have them. We're grateful we had our guest today.
Yes,
We
thank
wanna
you,
thank both
Brian
of
and
them.
Daniel, for sure.
Yes, absolutely. And we also have to thank our sponsors again.
Of course.
Yeah, we have Superior Overhead Doors. They're our spotlight sponsor.
Right, Titan Media Works,
Info Rural Social Media,
615 Insurance,
Achieve Entrepreneur Center.
and of course the Murfreesboro Pulse.
Absolutely. And you know, guys, if you haven't watched all of our shows yet, you can go back and watch the replays. You can go on our Facebook page. You can go on YouTube. Tell them, Rachel, how they can find us everywhere.
It's Good Morning Murfreesboro. It's everywhere. You can go to our website, you can go to YouTube, you can go to Facebook. Make sure that you like and comment and share. We really like those nice comments. Yes, we've had pretty good comments so far.
Yeah.
It's a great way to share what's going on in the community. Again, making Murfreesboro shine, sharing that with people.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, from all of us here at Good Morning Murfreesboro, we want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
And Feliz Navidad. Goodbye until next week.